Hi, and thank you for choosing your product from Perform Better. This instructional CD-ROM is set up so that you can see the many uses for the item that you just purchased with us. At any point in time, if you have any questions about this item or any of the items in our Perform Better catalog, please feel free to call us at 1-800-556-7464. Thanks again for choosing Perform Better, and have a great day. With the double leg box jump, make sure that you pick a box you can safely and effectively land upon. The landing should put you in the center of each box, and the landing should be as quiet as possible. After the completion of each repetition, step down off of the box and progress to the next repetition. If you notice that the box is a little too high, drop down to a lower box. You want to feel comfortable on the landing, and you want the landing and your technique to be as solid as possible. As you start to feel more comfortable with the jumps, you can progress to either faster speeds of movement or to a higher box. The single leg box jump is much more advanced movement than the double leg box jump and should only be attempted after you successfully completed double leg box jumps. The landing is still the same. You want to focus the landing as quietly as possible in the middle of each box, and after the completion of each repetition, step down off of the box. As you start to feel more and more comfortable with the movement, at that point in time, I would suggest increasing the speed of the repetitions or to the height of the box, but not until you have complete and total control of the movement in the single leg box jump. The progressive height box jumps takes the double leg box jump and now just puts it in a continuous movement pattern. The jumps are still focused on landing in the center of each box, and as you jump off the box, you want to control the landing down upon the ground. Make sure there's no breaks in the technique. Drive the arms up through each jump and land as quietly on the ground with very little break in the technique in a controlled descent onto the ground. The single leg blast off, typically we use the 12, 18, or at most 24-inch box. Focus on good arm drive. Pull the knee up towards the chest, toes up towards the shin. This is for the leg that is off of the box. This can be done with or without a jump, so you don't need to jump. Focus on the technique first, and then as you start to progress in the movement, focus on accelerating up off the box. Again, speed of movement and the number of repetitions can control the difficulty of this exercise. Around the world is a little bit more advanced version of a double leg box jump. Now as we land on the top of the box, I'm going to do a little 90-degree turn and either jump to my immediate right or left. I still want to keep good technique on the jump, nice soft quiet landings on the top of the box and also on the ground, and I don't want to have a breakdown on my technique. As I start to feel comfortable with this movement, I can either increase the height of the box or to the speed of the movement. But again, this is a little bit more of an advanced drill and should only be completed once you've got mastery of the double leg box jump or the single leg box jump. The upper extremity step up is typically done on a 6-inch or a 12-inch box. The movement pattern is a simple up, up, down, down, or a 1, 2, 3, 4 count. I want to maintain a good push-up position. I don't want to see my hips sag or drop down towards the ground, and if I need to increase the difficulty of the movement, I can throw on a weight vest, increase the number of repetitions on each arm, or increase the speed of the movement at any point in time. The upper extremity lateral steps are basically done in the same format as the upper extremity step-ups, except now my feet are basically the fulcrum. They don't move, so they're the fixed point, and I step up over the box in a lateral movement. It's still an up, up, down, down pattern. I don't want to see the hips drop. I want to try and maintain a good push-up position, and again, I can increase the difficulty of this movement by throwing on a weight vest, increasing the number of repetitions that I do left to right, or by increasing the speed of the movement. The upper extremity box jump should only be attempted by somebody that has very, very good upper body strength and very good trunk strength. The movement is done similar to a double leg box jump. I want the hands to land on the top of the box towards the center. I want the landing to be as quiet as possible, and I want to control my descent back down to the ground. Maintain very, very good trunk position. I want to maintain a push-up position throughout. I don't want to see the hips sag down towards the ground, and I can increase the difficulty of the movement by speed, number of repetitions, or by throwing on a weight vest. The upper extremity blast off, similar to the lower extremity blast off, I want to maintain a very, very good push-up position. I don't want to see the hips drop or sag down towards the ground. And the hand that is on the box that's doing the primary push can either stay on the box or it can come up off the box. Most commonly though, you're going to see that hand stay on the box. I want to accelerate up off of the ground in the box as much as possible and try and maintain good trunk position and alignment at the top of the movement. Quick feet is a simple drill. It's basically a 1, 2, 3, 4 count. Try and maintain the hips up over the bottom portion of the box, and I want to go as fast as possible doing the up, up, down, down movement. The step ups are really just a slower version of the quick feet. Here I'm demonstrating it with a body bar. I could use a weight vest, I could use dumbbells, I could use a medicine ball, and it's just a simple up, up, down, down count on the movement. Step overs simply have me doing a step up, but instead of stopping on the top of the box, I progress over the top of the box. As I step back up onto the box in that backwards movement, just make sure that the heel does not touch or clip the top of the box as you're stepping back over. I would start this movement with a 0 weight, get it with body weight first, and then progress to the dumbbells, the barbell, or body bar in this instance. This movement is just a split squat or a single leg squat. With it, I'm using a body bar across my shoulder blades. I've got my foot up on a 12-inch box, and I'm just dropping down into a really good lunge position. My back knee just about hits the turf. I keep my trunk as erect as possible, and I control the movement in the ascent and the descent down towards the ground. The split squat with a hop is a little bit more ballistic of an exercise. I want to control my movement both going up and down. My trunk stays as erect as possible. My back knee just about hits the floor, but I really want to focus on controlling the movement, both going up and down on this drill. With the single leg squat, make sure your foot is in the center of the box. Go to a depth that you can control. Keep the trunk as erect as possible, and really focus on the movement both in the ascent and the descent. But total control in this movement is very, very important. With the single leg hip mobility, focus on trying to maintain balance while reaching with the leg that is not in contact with the middle of the box as far anteriorly or forward, laterally, and posteriorly as possible. Try and get as much movement through the ankle, the knee, and the hip as you can while keeping your trunk as erect as possible.